Got some more KJK VIP Prizepicks MLB player props that I'm going to be sharing with you guys for free here today on the channel. If you're new to the channel, guys, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Going to be coming on the channel in these videos, breaking down actual plays that I'm playing, actual plays that I'm sending over my VIP, and sharing them with you guys for free on the channel. If you want to get access to every single one of my plays as soon as I place them, the VIP package is going to be where it's at. Going to be breaking down a ticket that I just locked in, explaining the process, everything that goes into it on the back end, guys, and why I am on this ticket. So this is what we're rocking with here today. We'll get into the breakdown right away. Once again, if you enjoy, guys, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to do. It does greatly help me out. And if you are a new user to Prizepicks and you have not signed up, go ahead and use that promo code KJKDFS when you sign up today to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100. That's KJKDFS. I'll have that link below in the description, the VIP package, and the sign-up bonus link. That'll give you that $100 deposit match. So let's get into it, guys. We'll go game by game as we always do here. If you go to my YouTube community page, you're going to see these winning tickets that I'm posting, right? We had swept 3 nights in a row. Last night, it finally came to an end, the hot streak. No sweeps last night, which sucked, but that's just going to happen. Eventually, the hot streak's going to come to an end. If you look all of these tickets, right, and you're like, why is this guy hitting the over and the under on these buttons? What's his reasoning? These videos are going to be a fantastic resource to go ahead and explain it all to you. So first plays that we're going to discuss are going to be Alec Burleson and Brendan Donovan for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be in this first game here, kicking off at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time. St. Louis taking on the San Francisco Giants. And we're going to be talking about some strikeout props, like the under for both of these guys. Go ahead and pull up the underlying metrics. The first thing that I like to look at, guys, if you are new to the channel, is market data. I use a couple tools for that. The first one's going to be the Daily Guy Fantasy Optimizer. This is a fantastic tool. If you're someone that's on these props apps every single day looking for optimal props, they're going to go ahead and give you 25% off with my promo code KJKDFS. Would highly recommend you check out the tool because it's going to streamline all of these sports books and their data into an optimizer and give you optimal props with good value at a fast, efficient rate so you can detect value. So first play, Alec Burleson, under 0.5 strikeouts. Minus 130 on the under on DraftKings, minus 135 on the under on BetMGM, minus 140 on the under on Flip. All of these different sports books, if you're new to sports betting and you don't know what this means, guys, because I know some people know, some people are new, some people have zero idea. In sports betting, you have certain lines that you have to pay a certain amount to bet on each bet that you take on a sports book. So in this example, the easiest way that I find to explain this is if you were to go to DraftKings, minus means it's favored, you would have to risk $130 to win 100 to take the under on Burleson's strikeouts. Okay, and the reason you have to risk more than you're going to win is because they're saying it's more than likely that Alec Burleson is not going to strike out. We're going to make you risk more than you're going to win because you're more likely to win your bet. So that's how sports betting works. On an app like Prizepicks, we're getting implied odds for every type of slip type that we take. So we play all 5 and 6 pick flexes on this channel because they're optimal for long-term return on investment because you're getting the best deal. You're paying minus 119 implied odds in a Prizepicks 5 or 6 pick flex, which OddsJam goes ahead and tells us here on the sportsbook screen, which is another tool I use here for market data, guys. Once again, KJKDFS will get you 35% off this tool, another fantastic resource. We can scan the entire market and see. We're taking the under on Alec Burleson and the under on Brendan Donovan. So we'll just get that out of the way. We're going to be taking the under on both of these guys. I'll just tell you that right now. Every single one of these sports books across the market is going to tell us that both of these guys are favored on their under. Okay, Alec Burleson and Brendan Donovan. So we can go ahead and scan the market in real time with you guys. This is a live data feed telling us all of the lines on all of these sports books, the millions of dollars invested. You can see minus 130 on the under on DraftKings for Burleson, minus 135 on the under here for Brendan Donovan. Looks like Underdog might have pulled this prop in real time. When this starts to go to a grayish color, typically indicates that that's coming off the board, which is another key indicator that you're getting good value. When these props apps start to remove props off the board, you know you're doing it right. Minus 135 on the under on BetMGM, minus 135 on the under on BetMGM. Sleepers got them all the way up to over minus 140 if you were to take the under. Bet99 has them both at minus 140 on the under. Hard Rock has minus 140, minus 135. Parlay Play minus 140, minus 144. So you get the point. We have all of these sports books, millions of dollars invested into setting appropriate lines telling us that both of these players are expected to not strike out here. They're favorited on the under. And if you look at the underlying metrics, which is something I will check, we want as many data points matching up here as possible. It makes sense. Both of these guys don't strike out. Alec Burleson's only striking out at a 15.1% clip against right-handed pitching on the season, and Brendan Donovan's only striking out at a 15.7% clip. We can go ahead and look at the last 30 days data for these guys, all the way down to 10% for Alec Burleson and all the way down to 13% for Brendan Donovan. So they're two hitters that don't strike out. They're both left-handed bats. So ideally, we would like for the pitcher that they're facing in Jordan Hicks to not strike out left-handed bats, which we can break down as well. And if we do so, you can see over the season, Hicks has only an 18.3% K rate versus left-handed hitting. It's all the way up to a 24.1% K rate versus righties. So both of these hitters don't strike out. We have multiple data sets telling us that they're favored on the under on sportsbooks such as DraftKings, BetMGM, etc. And the pitcher that they're facing doesn't strike out left-handed bats as frequently as right-handed bats. Only an 18% K rate. He also has a 13.1% walk rate. So if he wants to just go ahead and walk these guys and not pitch to them, we'll take that. All we care about is these guys not striking out. Okay, so that's what we're cheering for on this these first two props. All we care about is they don't strike out. Put the ball in play. Ideally, don't even get 2 strikes on them. Like first pitch ground outs, base hits, we don't care as long as they're not striking out is what we're going with here for these first 2 props in this ticket today. Next 2, in the next game that's going to be coming up in the 4:10 p.m. time slot here is going to be the Boston Red Sox. Who get to take on Frankie Montas in Cincinnati. This is going to be a great spot for these guys. Because Frankie Montas has been terrible versus left-handed hitting, and it just so happens the Red Sox are not so good versus left-handed pitching, but they're pretty good against right-handed pitching because they have a lot of left-handed bats that crush right-handed pitching. Most notably, Jarren Duran in the 1 spot and Rafael Devers in the 4 spot. Can go ahead and break this down. The Red Sox are going to be on the road here, which is fantastic. Anytime you're targeting the over on bats, you would prefer for them to be the road team because they're going to get the guaranteed top of the 9th inning at bats. If you're the home team and you're winning and then you close the game out in the 9th inning, you're not going to hit in the bottom of the 9th. If you're the away team and you're winning, no matter what, you're going to hit in the 9th inning. So that's a nice bonus. We want teams on the road, if at all possible, when taking overs. And we want teams at home, if at all possible, when taking unders. So that's another thing I didn't mention on the Cardinals here. Since they're the home team, it's not guaranteed that they're going to hit the bottom of the 9th, which should actually be good for the fact that we're taking the under on strikeouts. We hope the Cardinals are up. Those guys don't even have to come up again. They haven't struck out yet. That's a nice little bonus on those 2 picks. But yeah, underlying metrics on Frankie Montas, he has not been good versus left-handed hitting. It's been pretty bad on the season. We can go ahead and pull up the numbers. You can see only a 16% K rate. He's got an 11% walk rate. He's giving up a 179 isolated power metric and a 370 weighted on base average. So he's been really, really bad versus left-handed hitting. And over the last 30 days, these guys are red hot. Duran's got a 261 isolated power metric. Devers has a 231 isolated power metric. 351 weighted on base average. 392 weighted on base average. Only 16% K rate for Devers. Duran's been striking out 23% of the time, so that's going to be the one downside to him here. But you can see, as we discussed, Montas is not missing bats versus left-handed hitting. We can look at their entire season's numbers. Duran's actually down to a 21% K rate. Devers a 19% K rate. So these guys just rake versus right-handed pitching. We have a guy that's really bad versus left-handed hitting. Jarren Duran's one of the top stolen base guys in the entire MLB, which is huge for the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. He's got 19 stolen bases on the season. That comes in as the 7th best in the entire MLB. So that's another added bonus for him. And then last but not least, this is a major ballpark upgrade for these guys. They are going to be in Cincinnati. It's the Great American Small Park, as I like to call it. You can see Great American Ballpark is a ridiculously good hitting environment, and we have really good weather here today. It's 95 degrees. That's going to make that ball carry even further out there. 4.7% increase to home runs, 10.6% increase to total runs, and a 9.6% increase to earned run average. So, I mean, there's just a ton of different things going for these guys. And then once again, if we want to look at some market data, if we load these guys into the GGF optimizer, I guarantee they're going to be projected to go over here on their fantasy score. It's just that good of a spot. So we'll go ahead and put Jaron Duran in here, see what they're saying for him. And see, over 8.5 is his top prop on the entire board, according to the Daily Guy Fantasy Optimizer. DraftKings has him projected for 9 fantasy points. BetMGM has him projected for 8.9. We can go ahead and type in Rafael Devers in the optimizer as well here. And we're going to see that he is favored on the over. He's projected for 8.1 on DraftKings and 8 on BetMGM. So we have all of these different data sets telling us that these are going to be good plays. We're getting some good correlation with the two of them together in this ticket, because if the Red Sox put up a big total as they're expected to, 4.88 runs, they're going to get more at bats, be hitting up and down the lineup, have guys on base so that they can hit them in for those runs and RBIs. These are all good things for us on this ticket today. All right, guys. So that's going to be our next two props. And then the last two are going to be another ridiculously good hitting environment in Coors Field. If you're new to the channel, you might not know this. If you've been tuning into my content, you've heard me talk about this 1,000 times because it is very significant in Colorado. It's the best hitting environment in baseball. Massive outfield dimensions, really good elevation. Colorado, the ball is going to carry more. And we have two more props here that are really good on Prizepicks with good value. The number one and the number two hitters here, CJ Abrams and Lane Thomas. They're going to get to take on Cal Quantrill, who does not miss bats. Both of these guys have some really good numbers as of late. So we can go ahead and break down their underlying metrics, and we're going to be talking about their total basis prop here. So Washington, this game's going to be later time slot, so you should have plenty of time to lock these bad boys in. And we're going to see on the current season, pretty mediocre numbers for Lane Thomas. CJ Abrams, the best, most talented hitter in this lineup, but over the last 30 days, both these guys red hot. 224 isolated power metric for Lane Thomas, 276 isolated power metric for CJ Abrams, 357 weighted on base average, 337 weighted on base average. Really the only weakness is going to be the strikeout rate for Lane Thomas, who once again gets to take on Cal Quantrill, who only has a 14% carry. So the underlying metrics for Quantrill are pretty decent in the hard contact and stuff, but when you're not missing bats and you're in Coors Field with these dimensions as discussed, the balls are just going to find the gap. You have to miss bats. If you're not missing bats, it's very difficult for this field to help you out and not allow those hits. And we have two props here with some good value. Number one, the CJ Abrams over 1.5 total bases. Number two, the Lane Thomas over 1.5 total bases. So went ahead and locked those in. And it does look like in real time, guys, that CJ Abrams prop was pulled, which kind of sucks. But did they have any other props for him today? Probably not. The 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, I don't know if we can really use that as a filler. I have the total basis. We can go ahead and type him into the DGF optimizer, and we're going to see that there is, well, can't see it anymore because it's not on the board. Yeah, they're actually favoring the under on the 2.5, so that sucks in real time. He just got removed. But Lane Thomas, I can promote. He's still on the board. We're going to be looking at some good value here. Again, once again, you can see all of these different sports books are favoring his over, which makes sense. We talked about it. It's in Coors Field, guy that doesn't miss bats. All of these sports books. Minus 136 on the over on Pinnacle, minus 135 on the over on DraftKings, minus 135 on the over on BetMGM. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different data points telling us that the over is the play. All of the metrics line up. The market is reflecting all of the metrics in real time, guys. So the market's the best thing you can be looking at. You can fact check. You can have anything else as part of your process. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, if you think you're smarter than these sports books that have millions of dollars invested into setting lines appropriately every single day, you're not. You're a fool. If you keep telling yourself you are, you're not. Use the data to help you find good plays. And we can look at even more detailed data on the OddsJam Sportsbook screen here. Once again, if we want to go ahead and pull up the total basis here for Lane Thomas, we're going to see very quickly there's going to be a bunch of different data points that are telling us that he is favored to go on the over here tonight. Okay, minus 136 on the over on Pinnacle, minus 150 on FanDuel, guys, all the way up to minus 150 now. That's pretty insane. So you'd have to risk 150 to win 100 over there, minus 130 on Bet365, minus 141 on the over on 888 Sport. So every single one of these data points, all the way up to minus 148 over on Bet Openly. minus 130 on ESPN Bet. All of these different places, you'd have to risk more than what we're having to risk on Prizepicks and a 5 or 6 pick flex. We're getting minus 119 implied odds on Lane Thomas, okay? So that's my full 6 pick flex that I just did lock in that I'm sharing with you guys for free here on the channel. It does unfortunately look like CJ Abrams' total bases is not available anymore, which is just what's going to happen when you get good value. I apologize if that happens, but the good news is you can still lock in the 5 pick flex, use all these picks for free. If you do want to get access to every single one of my tickets as soon as I place them, you would have been able to get this in before CJ Abrams got taken off the board. That's going to be over on Patreon. That'll be linked below in the description. That's going to get you access to my Discord. You just have to purchase it on Patreon. You'll receive instructions when you sign up. And that's going to give you access to all of these tickets, all the tickets that you see the YouTube community page. It's not only on Prizepicks, Underdog, Fantasy, Sleeper, etc. All those are sent in immediately as soon as I place them. As a matter of fact, I can go ahead and pull this one up for you right now in the Discord. Just sent it in. Well, not just sent it in. I sent it in before recording this, so you can see sent in at 8:41, and yeah, that's what we're rocking with here. So hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell on your way out the door. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks MLB player props today, tonight, and we will see you in the next one.